Hi, this is Hemangi from Jungle Bells. Jungle Bells is a women's wildlife exclusive venture. We are into excursions, women's related small trips, trips to the forest, and of course, conservation and awareness activities. As a part of the awareness series, we've just come up with something very interesting. We used to get a lot of questions from our fellow travelers in the trips regarding which is the right season to go to the forest, then what should we carry to the forest, every time we go to the forest, are you sure that we are going to sight a tiger, etc., etc. So all these questions, we just thought, why not address it in a short kind of videos. Today we have someone with us. He's a mentor for Jungle Bells, Mr. Sanjay Deshpande. Sanjay is an avid wildlifer. He works a lot for conservation, and he's got a plethora of knowledge regarding all these things. So I think let's begin without wasting further any time. Hi Sanjay.
Hi.
So basically we wanted to cover topics like understanding wildlife tourism, then what comes under it, etc. So just to start with the first question, what are the different types of tourisms?
Okay. Thanks, Jungle Bell. Not as a mentor, but as considering me eligible for this topic, which definitely is very interesting. And even I also came across many times many questions. आणि बरेचदा मी आपण म्हणतो जसं की त्यात काय समजून घेणार का खरं म्हणजे तो पहिलाच प्रश्न जो आहे द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इट सेल्फ इज सो इंटरेस्टिंग की व्हॉट इज द डिफरंट टाइप्स ऑफ टुरिझम आपले आणि व्हेन हेमांगी सेड अंडरस्टँडिंग वाईल्ड लाईफ टुरिझम खरं तर अंडरस्टँडिंग टुरिझम इथपासून सुरुवात करायला पाहिजे स्पेसिफिकली व्हेन इट कम्स टू टुरिझम इन अवर कंट्री नो ऑफेन्स वी आर गुड इंडिव्हिज्युअली बट कलेक्टिव्हली व्हॉट वी आर एव्हरीबडी नोज आणि टुरिझमच्या नावाखाली जो काय धांगडधिंगा चालतो त्याच्यातनंच बरेचसे गैरसमज तयार होतात सो दिस सिरीज आय एम शुअर इट विल हेल्प अ लॉट टू मेनी नॉट ओनली वुमेन नॉट ओनली वाईल्ड लाईफर्स बट all tourists. So coming to the first question, what are the different types of tourism? Let me tell you, I am not a tourism expert, nor I am something extraordinarily knowledgeable on that. But I was fortunate enough to travel all across the country, various wildlife destinations, and from that gathering, I gathered courage to answer these questions. So tourism can be differentiated in general level 4 to 5 categories by me. One is leisure tourism, like you go to Goa, you go to some hill station like Mahabaleshwar and Lonavala for we Punekars and Mumbaikars. Although I am a Nagpurkar, for this interview I am considering myself as a Punekar. So there what you do nothing, you just go drink, relax, chillax, that kind of stuff, and that is you can call it a leisure or fun tourism. Fun tourism is more, leisure I won't say that is a leisure thing. Now coming back to the another aspect of tourism, then there can be historical or monumental places tourism, such as you go to Khajuraho temples, then as a temple architecture, then there can be heritage tourism. You go to Agra, you go to Jantar Mantar, you go to Delhi, you go to Jaipur. So these are the places where history has been created, and that you can call as a historic or a monumental tourism. Then there is what you can say nature tourism, where you go to Kashmir, where you go to Himachal, where you go to Uttarakhand, or you go to Kerala, or you go to not Goa for beaches, but Ganpatipule, that kind of thing, where you have fun, but still you have got some time in nature around you. And then there can be educational tourism also, there can be medical tourism also, but definitely and obviously work related tourism. You are going somewhere to visit work and you hang around the places around that. There can be shopping tourism, like Dubai, Singapore, you go and you just shop until you drop, that kind of stuff. So these are the different type of tourisms which we are used to, but wildlife tourism is totally different from all of this, and which has been post-COVID. Everybody suddenly started realizing the importance of wildlife tourism. So for your first question, categorically you can divide tourism into 5 general categories. One is fun tourism, one is relaxing tourism, one is historical architectural tourism, another is shopping tourism, and nature tourism. Lastly, it's a wildlife tourism.
All right. Thank you so much. We obviously will come to the next question of wildlife tourism and the categories. We also have categories under wildlife tourism. So if you can elaborate on those.
Yeah. So obviously, to understand wildlife tourism, first you have to understand what is wildlife. Here is where the first part I answered, that basically to understand any type of tourism, you have to understand the purpose of that tourism. Why you are visiting that place? Why you are visiting a city like Delhi or Bangalore or Agra? Then only you can understand, you can enjoy that tourism for really from the core. Unfortunately, in our country, wildlife tourism is only tiger, tiger and tiger. The wildlife tourism starts from tiger and ends at tiger, and that's where most wildlife tour operators have been hassled. That जेव्हा साधं कोविडच्या काळामध्ये डिस्ट्रिक्ट बंदी होती and we were not allowed to travel across the district also, live apart state, तर grasslands these guys started around Pune. आणि most people's first question was, what is there to visit grassland? How grassland can be considered? And grassland also hardly some 80 kilometers from Pune, Indapur and down and that area, Karbanwadi. बऱ्याच लोकांचा हा प्रश्न आहे की तिथे काय वाईल्ड लाईफ आहे. नंतर भिगवण or that उजनी, that is also wildlife tourism. Tamini Ghat, that is also wildlife tourism. So first you have to understand what is wildlife, then you can consider what is wildlife tourism. So by me, any place where this is, again I am not a zoologist or biologist or wildlife expert, it is this interview itself is for the common people, common tourists, and we are part of them. So by me, wildlife is something where any sort of flora and fauna, animals, birds, species, living species, mammals or fish also, aqua thing also, reptiles and plants, creepers, grass, everything related to flora, they are surviving in their natural state, natural habitat. लावलेलं नाही, नॅचरल स्टेट मध्ये ते जंगल किंवा तो छोटा निसर्गाचा तुकडा जिवंत आहे आणि तिथल्या तशा ठिकाणाला, तिच्या स्पेसला व्हिजिट करून तो फ्लोरा अँड फौना बघणं इज वाईल्ड लाईफ. दॅट फ्लोरा अँड फौना इज वाईल्ड लाईफ. And to visit those flora and fauna, to get information from that flora and fauna, to understand that flora and fauna is wildlife tourism. अशा स्पेस, अशा प्लेसला व्हिजिट करणं कुठल्याही प्रकारे, फोटोग्राफर म्हणून करा, जस्ट तुम्हाला क्युरियोसिटी म्हणून करा, तुम्हाला तिथला काही स्पेसिफिक अॅनिमल्स किंवा स्पेसिफिक बर्ड्स किंवा स्पेसिफिक आता कासपठाराला जाऊन तिथले फुलं पाहणं हे सुद्धा वाईल्ड लाईफ टुरिझम आहे प्रॅक्टिकली, बिकॉज इट्स अ वाईल्ड लाईफ. मेनी पीपल वोंट agree with this kind of logic because, as I say, it has been hammered on our mind, a wildlife can't be without tiger. But it is not. A wildlife is complete in the way तिथली लोकल परिस्थिती, भौगोलिक जिओग्राफिक परिस्थिती आणि तिथल्या फ्लोरा अँड फौना प्रत्येक ठिकाणचं वैशिष्ट्य असतं. टायगर भारतातल्या 32-33 स्टेट पैकी हार्डली 13 किंवा 14 स्टेट मध्ये मिळतो. त्याचा अर्थ उरलेल्या सगळ्या स्टेट्स मध्ये वाईल्ड लाईफ नाही का, तर असं होत नाही. वाईल्ड लाईफ सगळीकडे आहे, प्रत्येक जिल्ह्याला स्वतःचं काहीतरी वाईल्ड लाईफ आहे. फक्त वाईल्ड लाईफ समजून घेताना वाघ म्हणजे वाईल्ड लाईफ नव्हे. ऑब्विसली वाघ हा एक फार मोठा हिस्सा आहे. कुठलाही आता जसं ग्रासलँडचा अपेक्स अॅनिमल वुल्फ होतो, सो इट्स अ प्रिडेटर, म्हणजे पूर्ण एक लाईफ सायकल कम्प्लीट व्हायला पाहिजे. आता अक्वॅटिक वाईल्ड लाईफ मध्ये तो वाघ असू शकत नाही, मग शार्क सारखा प्रिडेटर तिथला अपेक्स अॅनिमल होतो किंवा व्हेल सारखा प्रिडेटर तिथला अपेक्स अॅनिमल होतो. अशा प्रकारे वाईल्ड लाईफ समजून जर आपण घेतलं, आता राजस्थानमध्ये जिथे रणथंबोर सोडा, आपण डेझर्ट मध्ये वाघ राहू शकणार नाही, म्हणजे काय, मग जैसलमेर डेझर्ट पार्क कसं म्हणतो आपण. सो wildlife exists everywhere. This is where you have to understand first wildlife, then you will enjoy the visit over there. आता मी जर लडाख मध्ये जाऊन वाघ बघायचा म्हटलं तर शक्यच होणार नाही मला, पण तिथे हिमालयन बिबट्या आहे. सेम केस मी जर गिरला गेलो आणि वाघ बघायचा म्हटलं तर शक्य होणार नाही, पण तिथे लायन. आता पुनो मध्ये चित्ता आलेला आहे. सो एनीवेअर where wild animal exists in their natural habitat, natural state is a wildlife, and tourism is visiting these places.
Correct. That's so wonderful that it's just not tiger tourism, but it's birding, that is aquatic. There are different types under it, and I think going into wildlife is experiencing all these things. Thanks so much for enlightening us. us. Next, we come to the next question, which is destinations of wildlife tourism.
Our country is one of the most wonderfully benefited by nature, by God, when it comes to the wildlife destination.
Correct.
Right from Himalayan forests to marine forest or ocean forest, every spectrum you can imagine it is there. And probably we are the only country where lion, cheetah, now cheetah thanks to our government's efforts, lion, cheetah, leopard and tiger all exist.
Yes.
Okay, we don't have got jaguars and pumas, but there are wildcats and cheetah and leopard covers for jaguar.
Correct.
So we have got all of them. So then we have got wolves, we have got jackals, we have got hyenas. So we have got carnivorous mammals, most sort of them. Then we have got reptiles or species of snakes. Then we have got birds, right from peacock, which is our national animal, to most exotic bird in eastern states like Assam and Arunachal to Himalaya. And in Western Ghats, there are thousands of species and hundreds of plants and trees which are still yet not recognized or found, is what they say.
Correct.
So such kind of biodiversity we have got, and depending upon these categories of forest have been made. If you differentiate on categories of wildlife, there are forest of Himalayan forest, which considers upper Himalayan range,
Right.
where it is Ladakh, where you get animals which can stay in snow,
Right.
which can live in snow, like
We
snow
have got
leopard is there,
Pelas's cat.
Pelas's cat, and then the pigeons and Kalish pigeons and all
Kalish
those things.
pigeons,
Monal, you have got
Yes.
those kind of things. She is expert on birds. I am not. I just all these names I just keep on watching on Facebook because I myself am pretty wary about extreme cold. So this is why again this type of conversations are important, because I understand situation of some wildlife destination and I know I am unfit for that, so I avoid going there. This is what one has to understand while wildlife, because it's not fun tourism. If you want to see a snow leopard, be ready to move around in the sub-zero temperature for days and nights. If your body can stand that, then only you can wish to have a look at snow leopard. Otherwise, snow leopard is not going to come in this Pune 40 degrees centigrade. That's the simple logic.
Right.
And this is why we have to understand wildlife tourism and their destinations. So, starting from upper ranges of Himalayas, we have got Himalayan, dry Himalayas, what you can say, Leh Ladakh, that kind of wildlife. Then the base of Himalayan foothills, where Rajaji National Park is there, where Dudhwa National Park is there. Then there Corbett is there. We have got, which is called as a Tarai Forest.
Right.
Okay, here you can find right from tiger to rhinos to elephants and all big animals, that kind of thing. Because it's a mixed forest where grasslands exist, where big trees exist, where dense forest also exists. Then Himalayas right wing, which goes towards our eastern states, there you got rainforest like Arunachal, which has got Nam Dapa and all those things. That is another type of forest. It is Himalayan rainforest, they call it that. So on only one Himalaya, you have got three types of forest. One is a dry arid forest like Leh Ladakh, another is a Tarai forest like Corbett and Rajaji, and then you have got rainforest like Arunachal, Nam Dapa and all those things. You come down and you come into central plateau, which has again a diversified forest like Ranthambore, which is dry and arid, and which is in Aravalli's part of it. And then you have got central Indian plateau, which is rich with Deccan plateau, the black cotton soil and fertile soils, where you get evergreen forests such as Sal forest of Kana, then Bandhavgarh. Then you have got Satpura ranges, where you got Tikkur forest and mixed forest.
Yeah.
You got Melghat and all those things. You come down further and you got cut by Western Hills, Western Ghats, which are again mix of rainforest as well as evergreen forest. Here also a lot of biodiversity you get, and these are mostly on southern states like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. Then you have got Kerala. Goa also is blessed with Western Ghats. You have got Jaisalmer desert part, is the border of Pakistan, where you got desert, and still there wildlife exists in many form of it.
Yeah.
So all these forests are these are the destinations, and this is why you have to understand the destination first. So accordingly, you can work it out what kind of wildlife you want to see.
So we were discussing about the different destinations before this, and from destinations, that obviously a question arises that what would be the best season to visit that destination. So can you just let us know?
Yeah, actually, if you are a diehard wildlifer, any season is best to visit wildlife. But then we are here to make people convert into diehard wildlifer. So one has to understand the destination along with the weather or season, you can say, because wildlife, when we are saying, it is totally dependent on nature, because we are visiting it at the mercy of nature.
Right.
Like Goa, you visit any place, the seashore will be there, the beer will be there, the hotels will be there, the joints will be there. Delhi, you visit in any season, Qutub Minar and all those things, Agra will be same there. Singapore, Dubai, you visit in any season, malls are same, only the sales will different sale will be at different level.
Right.
But in wildlife, it is not. Practically, if you ask me, because I love wildlife, any season is best, because in every season you get to say something different of wildlife. Now, about comfort level or your wish to like Kana. I will give, there is a wonderful story or think about seasons in wildlife. In most of the central India's wildlife, as you know, there is a tree which is a rubber tree, which is called as a ghost tree.
Ghost tree.
Because it changes its colors in every season. In summer it's white. In winter it becomes pinkish red, and in the rain it becomes totally green and grey. So, and same way in every season, the animals also changes their colors, birds also changes their color. The Barsingas in Kana have got a golden coat in early summer, the thick brown Cadbury fur coat in winters, and dark grey hairless coat in summers.
Yeah.
So this is actually, in any season you can go to wildlife and enjoy the nature's colorful play over there. But if you are if you know and if you want to see something particular, like if you want to see Barsingas in their prime, then you have to visit in winter.
Winters, yes.
Same way, obviously coming back to our dear subject of tiger, definitely this webinar, this sharing is more for people who want to see a tiger as a wildlife. And I am of an opinion, the one who first goes to any forest, he has to see a tiger, because then he will fall in love in wildlife. It's like to like a movie, you will have to have a superstar first, and then you will like that movie. So if you want to see a tiger, summers is the only and best season, because definitely in central India summers are very harsh, and the temperature goes to 45 degrees and up. But at that time, tiger can be easily seen, because forest is dry. You can the visibility is pretty long, and days are long. Sunlight is good, and
they come to the water
heat,
holes.
because of the heat, the tiger has to get out on the
Yes.
water hole. So every forest, as I say in our first question, first you have to understand wildlife. So depending upon the wildlife, what you want to see, you have to choose the season.
Right.
And this is where the study and getting knowledge of the subject is important.
Right.
Information is available. See, in this kind of short video, we may not be covering entire season and all those things.
Right.
But what I am trying to explain is, first define what you want to see, and then you choose the season. Because tiger are seen in rains also, tiger are seen in winters also, but the probability of tiger seeing is more in summer. So you have to go to there in summer. Maybe the forest may not be as beautiful as it is in summers and winters and rains.
Right.
In rains, you may not see a tiger that often, which you can see in summer. But at that time, if you get to see a tiger, it's one of the most beautiful things, because on that green background, entire green backdrop, when you get to see a tiger with yellow and black stripes, that is wonderful. That the same tiger may not look that beautiful in summers. Same way, if you want to go to a birding expedition in rains, there is no point in going into Himalayas.
Yes.
You have to go into winters or early summers where you can see birds, because in winter what will happen, in rain what will happen, what you will say, if birds are not going to leave this place. Birds will be there anyway, but the visibility won't be there.
Right.
You may not be go to open like in big one. Then there are places like local wildlife tourism. In our first question, that question was that this particular aspect was there. Every district of this country has got some wildlife. Like in Pune, you have got big one where flamingos come during early summer and winters. So if you want to see flamingos, and if you go to big one water will be there. There will be different, but flamingo won't be there.
Right.
So there are you have to understand this. There will be migratory birds, there will be migratory animals, and those will be coming. There are very few migratory animals which can travel to that distance because of the limitations on traveling. Birds can fly miles and thousands of kilometers, but tigers also do migrate. And but for migration you don't go. But like you go to Africa. Though
Yes.
this seminar is this our sharing is restricted to Indian wildlife tourism, but in Africa the great migration of beasts and animals happens, and to see that people go. But that happens only during October to July to October. So you have to choose that season. So in nutshell, in wildlife tourism, every season has got something to offer. It depends upon your sustainability and your needs, which you have to understand and then go there. Like there are people which I know who go to rainforest in rain season also, because in that particular season you get to know some species which will never come out in the summers and winters. But in India, as I say, coming back to our tiger, summer is the best, next is winter, and if you are lucky enough but you want to try your luck, you can try rains also. Nowadays, buffers of many project tigers are also open in rain. That is very big advantage. So I will insist you can choose any season. First, start going to the forest. Wildlife is wonderful for all seasons. Only issue is that you have to study a bit where and why you want to go. There lies the question of seasons.
Right, yeah. Thank you. So I think this addresses a lot of questions that we get during that. Should I book a tour in summers or should we wait for the winters? We get some queries like we are unable to take the summer heat. So would we book a winter tour and will we get to see a tiger? So I hope this answered the question. There you get to see a tiger, just the probability is slightly lesser than summers, but equally the forest is beautiful. We come to the last one of this series. There's a specific understanding of travel and stays during wildlife tourism. If you can throw some light on this aspect.
Yeah, first of all, you have to understand most of the wildlife destinations are at remote places.
Right.
They are not like in Goa there are thousands of hotels, in Singapore or Dubai there are thousands of hotels. Even in city like Pune you got all types of hotels, like business hotels, family hotels, leisure hotels, then luxurious hotels, eating joints and all those things.
Right.
So to operate something at remote places at wildlife are is not a easy job. To get proper service, already hospitality industry is in a dilemma of having right staff at right time. Even city like Pune also, I myself own a hotel, and I am known to many. I know many of the my friends who have hotel industry. Manpower to train them is always a problem.
Right.
And then establishment, service, maintenance, and all those things. Imagine a place like Tadoba, which is cut off from main city by say 100 or 200 kilometer. The staff is there only of local people, only except your chef and something like that can be, you can pay him high and get from Delhi or Bangalore. But what about service people? What about cleaning people? What about cleaning staff? What about the waiters and all those bell boys, room boys and all those things? So most of these destinations, unless until you are living in some very luxurious hotel, even Club Mahindra's few of joints I have seen, that there is no intercom. There is no intercom.
Yeah.
Many people say why there is no intercom. The simple reason is, if there is an intercom in the room, chances of hotel management getting troubled by the tourist for smallest of the requests are more.
Yes.
Say they don't keep it. But then it's a discomfort. We are not used to this kind of thing. But this is happened. Try to understand limitations on those people. They are already less staff. The staff which is there, that is not that much trained. And this happens with the best of the hotels, except you are living in Taj. But then you have to pay 50,000 bucks per day, which is not worth for all kind of tourists. So average establishments at such places,
Right.
they are moderate. They are moderate. There may not be Wi-Fi. They can't afford that. And why you need Wi-Fi? Why you are going to forest if you are using Wi-Fi all the time? There are Wi-Fi usually at the dining room of such establishment or the reception area. So if you really want to show where you are, you can go to that that area and log in into things. So major people are come, अरे वायफाय पण नाही तिथे, कशाला पाहिजे बाळा वायफाय तिथे, तू जंगलात गेलेला आहे. आणि त्यांचे प्रॉब्लेम लक्षात घ्या. दे डोंट हॅव दॅट काइंड ऑफ इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर, दे कॅन अफोर्ड दॅट काइंड ऑफ इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर. आणि ऍट द सेम टाइम यू डोंट एक्सपेक्ट, म्हणजे 50,000 देऊन ताजमध्ये जा, तुम्हाला टॉयलेटमध्ये पण वायफाय मिळेल. पण सगळे 4 आणि 5,000 रुपये डेच्या हॉटेलमध्ये परवडत नाही. अनदर आस्पेक्ट इज अ फूड और ब्रेकफास्ट स्प्रेड. सी, first of all, when you go to wildlife destination, you are going most of the time out of your room in the wilds.
Right.
That's the purpose. Agreed. Even this doesn't mean that you eat any dirt. That is not that. There are just get the information about the menu, but it is not a la carte menu which you can order in fine dine in Pune or Mumbai. That is not kind of the. They have most of these establishments have got local cooks. ऑब्विसली त्यांच्या प्रिपरेशन्स या आपल्यापेक्षा असणार आहेत. ते लोक बिचारे त्यांच्या प्रिपरेशन्स करून, जसं आता तुम्ही तारुवनला आणि कोलाराला उतरलो तर तो सावजी उमरेडचा भाजी करून देतो, मग तिथे लोक नाका म्हणतात किती तिखट भाजी केली आहे. अरे त्या माणसाने तुम्हाला तिथल्या टेस्टची आयडिया द्यायला ते केलेलं आहे. सो दीज काइंड ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेशन्स वी शुड कीप अ बिट असाइड व्हाईल वी आर गोइंग टू वाईल्ड लाईफ टुरिझम. टीव्ही नाहीये रूम मध्ये, तुम्ही टीव्ही बघायला जाता का जंगल बघायला जाता, हा माझा बेसिक प्रश्न असतो. याचा अर्थ असा नाहीये की टीव्ही नसायलाच पाहिजे, पण नसला तर तेवढा त्याचा बाऊ करून घेऊ नका. याचं कारण आपण ज्या पर्पज साठी ते चाललोय त्याच्याऐवजी मी म्हणेन की तिथल्या वेटर लोकांशी बोला, गावात एक चक्कर मारा तिथे आजूबाजूला, त्या 4 लोकांशी बोला, जिप्सी ड्रायव्हरशी बोला, गाईडशी बोला. तिथे स्टाफ काही वेळा असं होतं की हे वाईल्ड लाईफ टुरिझमचे जे हॉटेल्स किंवा एस्टॅब्लिशमेंट असतात त्या थोडेफार जंगलाच्या बाहेर असतात. त्या तिथले काम करणाऱ्या मुलांशी 4 गप्पा मारा, त्याच्या शेजाऱ्यांशी 4 गप्पा मारा. यू विल कम टू नो सो मेनी थिंग्स अबाउट इट. त्या जंगलाविषयी जो वेळ तुम्ही इन्स्टावरच्या पोस्टिंग किंवा टीव्ही बघण्यात घालवला असता तिथे, तो वेळ तिथल्या आजूबाजूच्या लोकांशी शेअर करा. एक पायी चालत आजूबाजूला चक्कर मारा तेवढ्या वेळामध्ये. ठीक आहे, ऐन उन्हामध्ये तुम्ही फिरू शकणार नाही, पण जे काय तुम्ही जेवढा वेळ जेव्हा तुम्ही वाईल्ड लाईफ टुरिझमच्या नावाखाली जाता तेवढा वेळ तुम्ही वाईल्ड लाईफच्या सहवासात जर घालवला, आय थिंक you will enjoy it more. You will start understanding wildlife more than cribbing for such small discomforts which you may found is what my guidance.
All right, just to make the last point here, that we have got a lot of queries saying, like he's mentioned about intercom, like he mentioned about the TV is not being there and all. So we often, in my orientation of the camps or the excursions, I often tell them that this might not be available there, but I want to say that there is no time for all this, frankly, because you're so, for safaris specifically or for then birding excursions, whenever you're stepping out morning 4-5 hours, more close up to 6 hours, and evening again 5-6 hours. In the middle time you prefer resting out. So I think these all luxuries are not as important in the forest as they would be in urbanized cities or holidays. So that's all for this kind of this series right now. We'll come to the next this thing soon, and
it will be do's and don'ts.
Yes, do's and don'ts. I hope you have all of you have enjoyed.
And for any query, you are welcome to contact Jungle Bell at our website, email ID, and even my mobile number will be providing along with this video, and we will be happy to even reply your queries one-on-one. Thank you very much, Jungle Bell.
Thank you, Sanjay. It's been a pleasure.
In wildlife as much you can. Thank you.
Thank you so much.